We're here talking about Broadway Grand Rapids, the new season getting ready to get underway here in just a little bit. Jen Pasqua with Broadway GR joining us live in studio for a rundown of the 2025-26 season. Good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you. I am excited because we have a stellar season this year. And I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. Grand Rapids is making its mark when it comes to touring Broadway shows, and they want to come here.
Yeah, I was actually fortunate enough to check out a couple in the last season. I saw Hamilton there. At DeVos. It was a great show, and you guys really do a spectacular job on stage there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hamilton was such a big talker. I know so many people that have never been into plays, musicals, nothing, and they said, I need to see Hamilton. And that's huge that was able to come to Grand Rapids. And of course, looking ahead to so many more exciting things throughout the season too.
Yeah, as we know, Hamilton's a game changer. That really got a lot of people into Broadway who were never into Broadway. And you know, tell you what, that show brought in so many people from so many different areas. I mean, I know you said that people traveled in to see that too.
Yeah, I actually had some friends come up from the Chicagoland area to watch it here in Grand Rapids. And we went, we had a great, it was a Saturday or a Sunday matinee. It was beautiful. So a great show in general. And of course, now with that one kind of in the rearview mirror in that season, we're gearing up for season 2025-26. So we're taking a look at some of the pictures from some of the cast members that'll be along for the ride here. Water for Elephants is kicking you guys off.
It is.
What, not next week? Is it the week after? Or
October 7th.
October 7th. So tell us all about Water for Elephants and what people can expect from that.
Well, you know, many people have read the book, love the book. Of course, there was also a movie. So now you're going to be able to see this adaptation on stage. And what makes Water for Elephants so unique is the fact that they really bring in a little bit of the aerobatics, you know, the traveling circuses back in the day. And there's a beautiful love story that comes along with it. So people, I think, are really going to enjoy the show. But, you know, we have other award-winning shows. We have 2 award-winning Tony shows that are going to be a part of our season. We have shows that I think is really going to whet the appetite for those who've never seen a Broadway show, and they're going to want to see more. So this encompasses the whole season in terms of the different variety that we're able to provide. So we've got a little bit of a Kimberly Akimbo, which is a really unique Tony Award-winning show that talks about life, about this woman who actually, this teenager who ages faster than what she normally does because she has this this complex kind of disease that she is going through. But really heartwarming story, hilarious. You know, following that, we also have the Great Gatsby, The Outsiders. I mean, our show this season is going to be really full.
I see a lot of great titles on there. And in fact, if we want to pull up item 46, it's the entire lineup for this season. We'll get that here in a second. But I mean, just such a great lineup. You mentioned The Outsiders, Great Gatsby. We've got Water for Elephants, and we've got, I mean, The Lion King. It's usually a huge one there.
3 weeks during spring break. So if you are doing a staycation, put this on your calendar. And that's a show that really everybody who I have not heard one person say a negative thing about The Lion King, you know. And then Anne Juliet, if you like those jukebox musicals, a little Britney Spears, a little Kelly Clarkson, this is going to be your jam.
Oh, we love it. Book of Mormon, too, is a huge one.
And so that's not part of our season. That's a special. So, you know, that's, you can buy tickets for that separately outside of the season subscription. But it is such a great show. Acquired taste for some people, but boy, is it hilarious.
Oh, yes. That's actually on my bucket list there.
Oh, for sure. Now, you mentioned, too, kind of the season tickets. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I understand that the deadline's coming up for that one.
Friday. So these are our season subscriptions. This allows and guarantees that you're going to get a seat at every single show. And so that's really the way to go, right? And that way you can see what you like, what you don't like. But rest assured, you can sign up for our Broadway E-Club, and you'll get also alerts to tell you when single ticket sales happen for the general public. And that's also a fun way to get tickets, too. So a lot of different ways. But yeah, season subscriptions, get them, because this, again, guarantees that you're getting a seat of where you want to sit when you come to a show.
I would also have to imagine the value's pretty good on that, too. I mean, you're seeing some world-class shows right here in Grand Rapids. Can you kind of talk about the benefits, too, of just having that subscription for this season?
Absolutely, yeah. You are going to be able to get, again, a variety of opportunities to see all 6 shows. And I think that really encompasses the beauty of the entertainment of performing arts, right? Because again, you're not maybe going to love every single show, but there's going to be a show that you like, and you'll also appreciate the different varieties that we've put together as an entire season package.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, where you've got a bunch of varieties to pick from, and you know, you have an acquired taste for some folks on some of those musicals, but if you're really just getting into it, it's a really good opportunity to kind of dive right in.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot here for people to be able to enjoy, of course. A lot that's exciting about the season ahead in general. Now, we've been talking about the season tickets as we're getting into the next couple of weeks, into the next really multiple months even. I understand the economic impact as people are coming into this area. People came into this area for Hamilton is huge for this area too.
Absolutely. Think about what surrounds DeVos Performance Hall, if you will. You know, you're probably going to go out and have dinner before the show, or maybe even after the show, to have some drinks and whatnot. And the people who would come in, hotel, lodging, and you have to think about the cast that's here for an entire week, maybe 2, or like Lion King 3. So they're really pumping in a lot of dollars into our city, which is beneficial for all. And I think that you'll see as we continue to grow in this space, we're really allowing the opportunity for these shows to see what wonderful things Grand Rapids have to offer, because if we give them a good experience, guess what? If they're in a different show, they're probably going to want to come back.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. You actually described exactly what I had another show that I went to, Moulin Rouge, last year, and we had family and family friends come up. We went to dinner. We did the whole, cocktail bar after the fact. So I spot on that. Absolutely.
Well, and you don't have to buy a ticket to New York. We're bringing these shows here.
Yeah.
You don't have to drive to another city where, this is stuff is happening in your backyard. And our parking compared to other bigger cities is incredible.
Yeah.
So a really good deal.
Or Uber downtown, it's cheaper that way too.
Or take the buses too.
You got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what people should take away from Broadway when they're here in Grand Rapids? What do you hope they take away when they're coming to watch these shows?
Well, if anybody's ever seen a Broadway show, there is a camaraderie with those that you're sitting next to. They may be a complete stranger at the beginning of the show, and then you're experiencing this beautiful storyline. You're experiencing the music, the costumes, the theatrics of it all. And then by the end of the show, you're like the best of friends, because you're talking in the intermission saying, hey, I really enjoyed this, and I would love to be able to see this, or bring other family members here. So I think just the bonding that happens when you see a live performance, and the emotions that it can bring up in that time frame. I have, especially with Hamilton too.
Yeah.
You look at those moments where people are cheering, people are, not singing. Please don't sing during the performance.
Sing in your head.
Sing in your head, move your lips. But, I think there's just a special moment that happens when you see these live performances, and you never know who the next, behind the scenes or on the stage person from Grand Rapids is going to make that their living because they got inspired in that moment.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I always love hearing stories from people who end up going to these Broadway musicals, and they say, I did not like this before. I had no interest, and now I'm completely in love with this. This was amazing. What would you say to people sitting at home that they would think they would have no interest in this? Because we all know that can turn around pretty easily.
Life is short. Try everything once. That's what I always say, give it a chance. And again, if it's not your cup of tea, there's other shows that you can try out too. But I guarantee there will be a sense of feeling that you have when you walk out of that hall of just a wow moment.
Yeah.
That this was something that's so unique that our city is able to provide, and do it in a way that, is still pretty affordable comparatively of having to go somewhere else to see these shows.
You talk about bringing in these shows here to Grand Rapids. What does that process look like? How do you guys pick the shows?
Yeah.
How do you guys entice these big casts to come here and perform right here? I know Grand Rapids is great, but you guys probably do a lot of legwork to try and get them here. Can you talk about the process?
Yeah, it's very interesting with Broadway, because we are one of the venues that actually shares a venue. Of course, we share our DeVos Performance Hall with the symphony, with the ballet, with, the opera. So it's a real game of trying to find dates, because first of all, before you can even do anything in bringing a show here, we have to see if it's available during the route time. And so it's a lot of back and forth that our president and CEO has to do in navigating that. But I also think a lot of it has to do with relationships that we build. So again, showing the cast and crew, the people who are the decision makers, that coming to Grand Rapids is worth their while is an important thing. And the fact that we embrace it, we have a heavy, what they call load-in, which is our season subscriptions. And so to see that we have a really supportive community that wants to bring shows here, also helps tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, let's get some dates on your screen. That way you know exactly. This would be item 50, I believe. Well, there you go. The first show, Water for Elephants, October 7th through 12th. The season ends in July of 2026, the last show being The Great Gatsby, of course. You all know the film, you all know the book, the story of The Great Gatsby. Of course, you can see that come to life. And many other shows come to life in this season of Broadway Grand Rapids for the 2025-2026 year. Jen, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.